In this Unity tutorial, I'll show you how to add this parallax effect, so you can see the stuff in the background is moving slower than what's in the foreground. So let's get started. So right here I have a basic scene, and all it has is this player with the player movement script so I can move a player around. And the camera is attached to the player, so that the camera moves with the player. And then I have these three background elements. So one is very far back, one is a bit closer, and one is very close. But in reality, they're all at the same C position. And then I also have a ground right here. But what I'll do is right click down here and create an empty game object, which I'm gonna call background. And then I'm gonna select all of my background elements and drag them under that. Then let's create the parallax script. So right click down here, go to create and do a mono behavior script, which I'm gonna call parallax. And I'm gonna open that up. In here I'll delete the update function and the comments. And then I'll add a public transform array, which we're gonna call layers. Because we can have multiple layers, we can have as many layers as we want. And then I'll add a public float array called speeds and a private vector3 called previous cam position. Then in the start function we'll set previous cam position to be equal to camera.main.transform.position. And then we'll add a late update function where we will do vector3 cam pos equals camera.main.transform.position. And then we'll do vector3 delta, so the difference in the camera position, which will be cam pos minus the previous cam pos. And then we can do a for loop where we will do int I equals 0, and then we'll do I less than layers.length and I++. So we basically loop through all of the layers. And then we can do if layers I is equal to null, then we will continue, or basically go to the next index, and else we will do layers I.position plus equals new vector3 delta.x times the speeds I, comma delta.y times again the speeds I, comma 0f for the C position. And then at the bottom down here we'll simply do previous cam position equals cam position. And this is all we need in here. So now we can head back into Unity. In here we'll click on our background game object up here, and I'll drag the parallax script onto here. Now I'll press plus 3 times here and plus 3 times here, and I'll drag background 1 onto here, background 2 onto here, and background 3 onto here. Background 1 should have a pretty high value because that's far away, so it should be close to 1, so I'll put that at 0.9. Then for background 2, which is a bit closer, this I'll set to 0.7, and this very close one I'll set to 0.5. And now if we try to play the game, you can see it moves at different speeds. So perfect. And that's how you make a very simple parallax effect in Unity. And also check out my Skewed community, where you get access to a community where you learn alongside others. You can go through my courses and also ask me direct questions. So check that out in the top link in the description, and have an amazing day.